Welcome to another edition of the REPMO Football Show on Republic Tiger Sports, presented by Beauty and Wellness Co. And joined by Ryan Cornelsen for another conversation about Tiger football, coming off a win against Joplin that I thought was pretty complete against a good team. That might have been your most solid effort.
Yeah, I thought we played well in most phases of the game. Now there's still a lot of stuff we can get better at, but as far as where we're at this point in the season, there's no doubt that was our most complete game, and we're able to do a lot of things that we expect to be able to do. And I thought the kids played really hard. I thought they executed the plan, and defensively our plan had to change some throughout the game with what they were trying to do, and so they made those adjustments and were able to find ways to get stops. And offense, other than the first drive, or there was two drives there in the first quarter I think were bad. They moved the ball pretty consistently, and so felt like it was a good game for us. It's a good stepping stone. We just got to continue to improve off of that and continue to get better.
Let's take a look at some highlights. We'll start with first drive, which was an uncharacteristic 3-and-out to start. What were they doing defensively that was making it hard here?
Honestly, is what we thought. It's like what we saw on film. We just didn't execute it at a very high level. Our pad level got too tall there, and now that was a little different formation than what we'd seen. They got a guy that slipped through a gap and made a play for a loss, and that's tough on us. Like you see there, the line of scrimmage, the first play moved really well. We got 5, and the next 3 didn't, and so we've got to make sure that first drive, it's about just, figuring out what they're in, but we got to move the chains to be able to do that. And so that was a failure there for us offensively. The first drive to go 3-and-outs, we can't have that happen.
So then they got the ball back, and they defense played well. There's Caleb Norman, who got in and had that tackle, and he was all over the place all night.
He really was. He had a big night, had a lot of tackles, and again, he's our guy that sets it all up and makes sure that we line up right, and then he made a lot of plays behind it. And so there, the fumble, obviously they bailed me out going for it there on our side. That's just kind of who we are. Our kids know that we're going to do those things, and we're going to take our chances and try to play aggressively. And here, looks like Ethan, I couldn't tell if that was Ethan or Gavin. One of those two got a little bit of a strip there. And Ekene was able to get on the ball, and now we've got a new set of downs, and we're back to where we were, starting the game, and so felt like that was a big turnover for us just right there out of the gate to get the ball back and have a chance to put another offensive drive together.
Yeah, you talk so much about possessions and maybe trying to steal a possession, and you kind of stole one back there after you gave it up at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. We gave one up, and then to get it back was big. There, obviously you saw Isaiah's block coming off that edge. Took the kid's helmet off, and when you could tell right here. Now look at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
you can see the difference.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess Coach Yule got after him a little bit over there about pad level and getting off the ball, and just a little bit different mentality right there that drive than what we had the first drive. And so we were capable of doing it all along. It just we had to get a little bit nastier and get after it, and then we were able to move the ball pretty consistently for most of the night.
Izaiah had the long run, and then you gave it to him for the touchdown and allowed him to get in the end zone. He had a big night.
He did. He had a lot of yards. He had, and that's kind of the way the offenses worked. Like, people have taken a fullback away. This week they try to take away our off tackle because Owen had such a big night the week before and opened up our dive and our trap and those things, and he was able to have a big night.
There's a long run by McKinney. He kind of bobbled the snap. I wonder if that might be people let up a little bit defensively.
Yeah, I think it threw us off our gap responsibility a little bit, not knowing when he did that. Kind of didn't give us a direction of which way he was going, and he ended up just hitting a seam and had a big play for him there. Norman comes through, finds the gap, and makes a nice play basically from the backside coming down. He did that most of the night. He had a lot of big plays like that. Again, there, just miscommunication from our secondary. We had an offensive or a tight end there block, and we didn't read it and didn't get to the right gap, and this was a bad stretch for our defense right here. Like, we're better than that. Didn't play very well right there, and so probably what I was most proud of as far as the game went was, we didn't move the ball first drive.
Yeah.
The second drive we came back and moved it really well. They had that that series of offense that really ran down our throat, and we end up, we're trailing. At some point here, we're behind, and I didn't see any panic. We didn't change anything. It wasn't like we adjusted a bunch of stuff. We made our normal adjustments and just started playing hard and getting physical and staying low, and we're able to take control of the game at that point.
Yeah, and you can see as these highlights go on, that line of scrimmage, as you've talked about in previous weeks, just moves further and further as the game goes on and they wear down.
It does, and a lot of that's just discipline of staying low and firing off the ball. And you can see there we've got a lot of guys really coming off the ball well. And again, they're not all going to be big gains. Sometimes those 3-4s is all there is for us because that's just our style. And as long as you're getting off the ball low and getting off the ball hard, you're going to have those. And then you pull it like that and end up having a lot bigger run from it. Yeah.
This was the drive where you had fallen behind 10-7, and you just came out and just ran exactly what you want to run. I thought this was the drive of the game, the one I chose.
Yeah,
as the drive of the game.
Yeah, it like I said, that was probably what I was most proud of, was just the fact that we were behind. We had some things happen, we didn't flinch, we didn't panic, we didn't change who we were. We just kept after it. And found ways to get better and start moving the ball consistently, start getting stops on defense. It's a nice run there by Gray. The play before that with throwing it to Kieran, just a little curl route. Mm-hmm. Those are all things that we're trying to get better at in our offense and trying to get to where that's a consistent part of our offense.
And then Elijah comes out right before halftime, and he doesn't get very many opportunities with the coach that goes for it on fourth down as much as you, but he made this one count.
And honestly, I thought I called the timeout 10 seconds. We were going to take a shot in the end zone before this, and Preston had got the wind knocked out of him. He was struggling to get his breath back, so we just decided to go ahead and take the kick, and it turned out great. He drilled it. He had room to go. We watch where on Thursdays when we do our kicks, we back him up and kind of see where his range is, whether it's a headwind, tailwind. We felt like he was good from quite a bit farther than that the last 2 weeks. So it wasn't like we were not confident he could make the play.
Then early in the second half, Joplin went for it on fourth down, and this play, we talked in the booth, it looked like you knew exactly where this was going.
Yeah, and really we decided to play fast. Like that, we made the reads, those are the same reads that the drive they were driving the ball. We made it faster because it was fourth down. We just got to be that fast on every down. But we saw that we trusted the read, and both backers got there really fast, and we're able to keep them from getting the first. And that's anytime you can get a stop on fourth down's big.
Touchdown there by Preston. It was the play before on the pass to Kieran that got the first down, and then here you've talked about getting Gavin open in space, and you ran that little reverse.
Yeah, he's really talented. He's fast, and so we've had some different stuff into him. We haven't necessarily went to it. Felt like it was there this week, and called his number, and you'll see more of that throughout the season because we know how talented he is. We want to find ways to utilize his strengths, and that reverse was one way this week, and it turned out big for us.
And then touchdown there. Good to see toward the end of the game. That was the last touchdown.
Yeah, Ladd came in. He's coming off an injury a year ago, so he's playing some JV and some varsity, trying to get his knee back to where it was and trying to get his confidence. And so we had that play designed for him. I didn't know when we'd use it. Worked out there that it was towards the goal line, and he did a nice job getting the ball in the end zone.
All right, that's a look at the highlights. We'll be back to take a look at the game by the numbers after this timeout on Republic Tiger Sports.
This is Vanessa at Beauty and Wellness Co. At Beauty and Wellness, we are all about REPMO spirit, and we're also about helping you optimize your internal wellness and enhance your external beauty. Whether you're looking to age gracefully or just looking for a boost of energy to help you refuel and recover, we are the place to go. Visit our spot at Highway 174 and Main Street. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Beauty Plus Wellness CO or call us at 417-590-8200.
Go Tigers!
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show presented by Beauty and Wellness Co. And we're going to take a look at the stats from last week's game, courtesy of Elliott Robinson and company. Again, plays maybe not as lopsided as last week with 65 to 50 run for Joplin, but yardage a little over 400 to a little over 300.
Yeah, that's obviously that's from a defensive side. That's too many yards. 300 total yards for them is is something we got to get better at. We can't allow that. The number of plays, again, so we won the time of possession. Obviously, we want to win at a higher rate than that.
Yeah.
Our rushing yards were really good, and that's pretty normal for us as far as, we're going to have a lot more rushing than we do throwing. But the passes we did throw were we did one on fourth down, or two maybe on fourth down, and we completed those, and Kieran got the first downs. And so yards aside, those were big plays for us, and we got to be able to consistently throw the ball in our play action game, and so those were big plays for us as well. So
Individually, Izaiah led the team in rushing with 121 yards. Preston had kind of a sneaky game, 85 rushing yards, which I wouldn't have guessed until we looked at the totals at the end. And then Trayton with the 4 carries, 42 yards. I went back, and if you count the last 2 games, he's averaging 22 yards a carry. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. And so, those guys, again, the offense is balanced right now. It's not one-dimensional. It's not two-dimensional. We're having different guys, and so that's really important, especially through the regular season. You want to try to stay balanced and try to get as many things going as you can, and so we've been able to do that. And different kids are having big nights. Last week was Owen with the big yards. This Isaiah's this week, and so that's those are good signs, and those are things we're wanting to have within our offense. Those are 2 different positions, different points of attack as far as what plays they get, and so. That's nice to see when we have different guys and have big nights, different weeks.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, we talked about Caleb, big everywhere, 15 tackles. That's the most that I can remember in recent years anybody having in a game.
Right, that's a lot. And he had a great night, and a lot of those, or not a lot, but several of those were tackles for losses.
Yeah.
He hit gaps and on big plays, and so and honestly, there's been some games that he's been we've tried to cover him up, but he's been a guy that's we didn't have the tight ends covered up, so they're down blocking on him on some of those things. And this game he was a little more freed up to run and made the right read and made it fast. And we're going to need him to continue to have big nights, and he will, because he's he's a kid that understands the game. He studies it. He knows what we're trying to do. He understands what they're trying to do, and allows him to play fast.
All right, that's a look at the game by the numbers. We'll be back with more after this on the REPMO Football Show.
Looking for your next ride? Come see us at Pinnaker Chevrolet in Republic. Not only do we have a great selection of new Chevrolets on the lot, we've got a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, ready to drive home today. Need to sell or trade? We're buying cars, trucks, and SUVs, and we'll give you top dollar, no strings attached. Fair deals with local people you can trust. Let our family take care of yours at Pinnaker Chevrolet in Republic or online at pinnakerchevrolet.com.
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. We've got 3 players today, and we're starting with Ekene Chukwu. And Kenny, you had a fumble recovery in the very first possession that we looked at earlier with Coach Cornelsen. Let's just start with that play. Talk to me about that. And I know that's got to be a highlight for a lineman to be able to do that.
Yes, sir. So my game plan for Friday's game was to just stay low. I've been struggling like the previous games, not being able to do my assignment. So it really just set a tone for me to be able to get the fumble recovery first play. So it helped me really be able to play the game at that level during that game.
How do you feel like your development has been this year, stepping up, playing varsity, and talk to me about that progression?
It's definitely been a hard progression, especially in the weight room. To play varsity level, you have to get stronger. So I've just been putting that work in all summer, going all the weights during the summer and summer practice. So it just helped me really step up, and it's made it easier for me to be able to play at the higher level, the varsity level.
So Joplin was showing you a lot of different stuff offensively. How is that to keep track of and knowing what's going to happen, or trying to know what's going to happen on every play?
Yeah, our coaches prepare us from Sunday leading up to the game day, so we always know what we're going to do, and our linebackers call the plays for us so they can just move us around when they need to, and we can do it pretty quickly because we practice for it every day.
I would imagine the fumble recovery is probably one highlight. Do you have any other highlights that stand out for you this season so far?
Yeah, my sack against Adam McKnight, the first in the game, that was our first defensive sack for the D-line.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I feel like that just sets a tone for the entire season about our expectations and how we're supposed to play this season.
Okay. And then looking forward to the rest of the season, it gets a lot tougher. You've got Webb City this week, but just generally for the next few weeks, what are you looking to focus on as personally and as a unit?
Personally, I hope I can just complete my assignment better, do what my coaches tell me to do exactly as they tell me to do it, stay low, and fire up the ball explosively.
All right. Well, good luck on Friday and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be back after this. Kirk's Collision Center in Republic has been helping neighbors get back on the road with more than 20 years of experience behind the work. They're OEM certified, so repairs meet factory standards. And their team handles everything from collision and glass work to paintless dent repair. Even if your insurance company suggests another shop, you can always choose Kirk's, and every repair comes with a lifetime warranty. Learn more at kirkscollisioncenter.com. Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show, and we have record-breaking kicker Elijiah Phiri with us, coming off a great night on Friday. It's been a good season, but Friday was a little extra cherry on top with the field goal, 45-yard field goal at the end of the half, and we talked about it after the game, but I thought it'd be fun to have you in here and talk about it again. Tell me, when did you know you were going to be called on to kick that, and that whole progression of right through to the kick?
Yeah, I know Coach's specific play style. He likes to go for it on fourth down. So, I always warm up just in case he wants me to go out there and kick one. But I think Preston took a big hit, and he was just kind of had the wind knocked out of him. So I knew I was probably going to have to go out there and make the kick. But I was ready. I was warmed up. So, yeah.
How nervous were you?
I was pretty nervous. When I wasn't nervous until I went out there, I took my steps, and when I was just sitting back and waiting on the snap, I could really feel my heart racing, and it was pretty.
Did you know as soon as you kicked it was good? How long does it take you to realize that's going through?
I'm not really sure. I can definitely tell if I miss it as soon as I kick it, because sometimes I can get a good ball, but if I just hit it just wrong a little bit off to the side or something, I can push it pretty easily. But I just try to keep my eye on the ball and then look down for a little bit after I kick it, just so I don't mess anything up. But I had a pretty good idea where it was going after I kicked it. It was a pretty good kick.
Brennan Overstreet sets the holds. What's your relationship with him? How much work do you get? All three of you, the long snapper and Brennan, talk to me about that relationship and how much work you do together.
We're all good friends, so it's a great operation we got. So, we've been practicing it since the summer. We do it a couple times a week, and so, I always get a good snap and I always get a good hold. So, we're really confident in each other and we all trust each other. So,
you also had 8 touchbacks, which I wasn't really counting them, but that's a lot of touchbacks. That was enough to get on the list of the state association's website of most touchbacks in a game, I think. Talk to me about that. Kickoffs, are you trying to, I know you're not always trying to boot it in the end zone, because you probably could boot it in the end zone every time, but how do you decide where you're kicking it?
The coaches will just tell me where I need to kick it, whether I need to just hit a loft so we can get down there and tackle it, and there's just some, if they got a really athletic guy back there, they just tell me not to kick it to him. So, obviously if I get it to the end zone, they can't return it, but towards the end of the game, sometimes my leg starts to wear off and I can't get it all the way down there. So we just try to target to one of their not as athletic guys and get down there and make a tackle. But Coach trusted me to get it down there in the end zone each time on Friday, and that's what I did. So
we've talked about on the broadcast, you maybe kicking it through the uprights. Do you ever have it in the back of your mind, I'd like to kick it through the uprights on a kickoff?
About every time I go out there to kick it off, somebody in the huddle says, kick it to the uprights. And I'll say, I'll see where it goes. So sometimes I got to kick it to a side, maybe to the left or the right, just in case if it does go short, that one of their really good returners doesn't get it. But maybe it'll go through the uprights. I know I had one last year that went through the uprights, but it was because of a 15-yard penalty, so I was really kicking it from 55 yards away. But
yeah. So what are you looking forward to the most about the rest of this season?
I'm just hopefully just continue in good form, and I'm really excited. I think our team is going to make a good run this year, and so just excited to help him do that and do my job, be a part of that.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Back with more after this. We'll have Izaiah Hull on the REPMO Football Show.
I'm Robin McKee with your locally owned UPS store. We've raised our family in Republic, and we're here to help local businesses thrive with printing, shipping, and more. Visit us in the shopping center behind Commerce Bank, and let's succeed together at the UPS store.
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. It's Izaiah Hull joining us after a big night. And Izaiah, you've kind of waited your turn. It was Owen a couple of times, and you were over 100 yards on Friday. Tell me what they were presenting defensively that made that such a good opportunity for you.
I knew as soon as we came out there, first drive we need to do better, obviously. We need to try to score on that, but a lot of times we idolize that to see what's working. And whenever it came through the second drive, then we had nobody through A and B gap, and we ran 63 dive, and there was just no one there all night, and they didn't adjust. So we just ran it over and over, and I knew that was just going to be my night.
Has this season been about what you expected so far? Have there been things that have been a little different from maybe last year from what you thought would be so far?
For the most part, it is. I feel like Owen so far has stood out to me personally, because last year I feel like he's made a really big jump from compared to last year, and I feel like that's helped us out a lot personally in the offense. But my job personally isn't that. It's the 4 yards, 5 yards, get the first down when we need it. But Friday, whenever we had that game, had a couple big runs. But it's going to happen about every game. I'll have one or two.
Yeah.
It's been going pretty self-explanatory for the offense that we run.
Yeah. Offensive line, obviously a big part of this. What's your relationship with the offensive line? What are you looking at from them? Are you going where you're supposed to go and hoping they are where they're supposed to be? Are you looking at them sometimes to determine whether you need to make a change? Or
it really depends on the play. Most of the time I'm just looking at where I need to go, and then I'll base off of them. But some plays I know that if I have to block or something, I know that I'll just read off of them and then go block whoever's open, I guess. But relationship we have, I'm pretty close with most of them. We've been playing since third grade together, so I feel like we've had quite a bit of chemistry together.
what are you looking forward to the most about the rest of this season?
I can't wait for districts. I feel like we should make a really big run this year. We've been doing pretty well offensively, I'd say, and defensively. Our defense have been playing lights out. But if we fix a couple minor mental mistakes throughout the game, I feel like we will be a really good football team.
All right. Good luck at Webb City. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back after this on the REPMO Football Show. Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show on Republic Tigers Sports. Want to thank Whataburger for providing drinks all season long and being a supporter of Republic Tigers Sports. And you've got a big one coming up on Friday. It'll be your first time back at Webb City since that big win in the district semifinal a couple years ago.
Right.
Was that the district semifinal? No.
Yeah.
I lost track. Anyway, it was a big one, and you'll be back there on Friday night. And they are, as usual, a good team.
They are. They're a good football team. They, very typical of year in and year out. That not a lot of things change. They're going to be, flying around. They play extremely hard. They get, they're big. Last week one of their players didn't play. We're assuming he'll be back this week. That gives them a real dynamic player. Whether he's sometimes he's a quarterback, sometimes he's a running back, sometimes he's a receiver. We saw him in that. We saw him not last year. He was hurt, but the year before, he was a guy that it was hard for us to get on the ground. So they've got a lot of dynamic pieces to them offensively. They can run. They can line up and run what you typically think of in Webb and run in the midline triple option stuff, or they can get in all kinds of different formations and try to utilize some athletes in space. So tall task for us. We got to continue to get better. We got to take last week's game and what we did well but then we also got to improve on the things we didn't do well. And so anytime you go into Webb City, you know, that's a tough environment to play at. But what, you know, makes for a big night, makes for an exciting night, and we'll be excited for the opportunity to go in there and play a really good football team in a stadium that's going to be packed, and so just a great high school football environment for sure.
Do you notice a difference in your kids now in preparing for Webb City from where they were, from where the team was, the program was 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think definitely year one, and I didn't really know it till I got there and saw how we played that first year. I wasn't quite used to that. So, and in all honesty, you know, our kids know we're not really concerned with the name on the other uniform. We don't care if it's Webb, Nix, who it is. No game is bigger to us than the other game. No team is you know, we're trying not to give credit to the other teams as far as, you know, man, this is Nix or this is Webb.
Yeah.
You know, our job is that they've got a different color than we do on it, and so let's go execute the game plan, and let's go do what we can to try to win a game, and I think our kids have fed off of that. You know, you know, we don't talk about the, you know, the teams as far as how good they are, or what, you know, we talk about what they do, what they can execute, what we got to take away. And not really concerned with who it is. And so this could be Webb, it could be Carter. Like, there's a lot of good teams. We just got to line up and be ready to play. And you know, our kids, you know, they understand that. So we won't be intimidated by anybody. You know, that's not something it's gonna happen to us. But we got to go execute at a really high level if you want to beat good teams, and they're a good team.
All right. Good luck on Friday.
Thanks, sir.
We'll have live coverage starting around 6:40 with the REPMO football pregame show. And that's it for this week on the REPMO Football Show. Thanks for watching.